Hold on.
Welcome into the Power Hour. I am Steve Aaron, along with the urban sensation C-Red, and joining us tonight on the very special Chicagoland Championship Wrestling Go Home show is the tag team that has created controversy wherever it goes. Also on this show previously, it's Youth Gone Wild. We have Tom Heisman and Matt Creed. Gentlemen, thanks for coming in tonight. Again, being guests on our show, we appreciate it. And it's special tonight because we are just a few days away from the follow-up sellout as Grapple Masters Volume 2 shows up this Saturday night in Michigan City, Indiana. And let's go back to October when the Youth Gone Wild showed up, showed out, and did the fans a solid by channeling their inner road warriors. So let's talk about that. I posted a picture of that, and I remember it like it happened yesterday. It was one of the most powerful displays of tribute I've ever seen. Can you speak to us a little bit about that decision to go down that road?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of an emotional time for us, knowing Animal pretty well. And you know, he passed away days before. So Tom had called me up and said, hey, you know, I want to do this tribute. And we were going to paint our whole entire face, but we decided to do half and half. It was just something out of the blue that we just decided to do the day of the show.
There you see is the Road Warriors and Youth Gone Wild combined into one magical night. Take a look at that. If that doesn't give you chills as a wrestling fan, I don't know what you're looking at, to be honest with you. But that night, that was hot, right down to the finisher.
Oh yeah, I mean, Tom definitely during the promo we cut it over there, you know, he very much so you know, he had that Hawk mentality right there, so he channeled Hawk right there.
It's it's one of those things that, you know, when you do something like that, I mean, you guys both knew him, you knew them, and you know, and you've done things over your career to respect that tradition. But a lot of people, you know, you heard some inklings on the interweb that people were like, well, that's silly. But I feel like anybody that had that mentality about it kind of missed the whole point. You heard, and I remember you, Tommy, you know, being like, well, anybody that, you know, feels that way can fuck off. I believe that was not that I want to put words.
I wasn't sure if I could say it, but yeah, anyone that didn't like what we did, I don't give a damn. Fuck you.
That's exactly it, pretty much.
The whole point of it wasn't to show off, and it wasn't to say, hey, we are, you know, LOD, or we are better than LOD. No, it was just simply a tribute to them. And you know, we still used our maneuvers. You know, did we use the Doomsday device in the end? Yes, but like I said, you know, we knew Hawk we knew Animal really well, and you know, he actually allowed us to use that maneuver as a finisher. He actually allowed us to start putting spikes on our gear and everything. So as a tribute, we use the finisher.
Let me just say this. First of all, Tommy, fuck yeah, you can. And I'm going to agree. If nobody understood what these two did as far as paying homage and showing respect to, after losing a great human being in Joe, then fuck you. And that's just being real.
Absolutely.
I think all of us were affected. You know, think about it. You know, even you and I were affected when we were at our former place of employment, I guess, if that's what you can call it. Our first big interview to kick off the new season was supposed to be Road Warrior Animal. Correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. He was signed,
So
ready to go.
here we are waiting on not only getting past this whole COVID thing, but we're waiting to get in the door to do the interview. And
he
we had just
in studio. He was going to be there in Hammond, and I had talked to him on the phone the week before about what he wanted to get over. He wanted to make sure that I knew where he wanted to go with the interview. And he was such a pleasant man, and we had run into him several times over the years. He had come to Crash Tested, and he did commentary, and he was a veteran leader behind the scenes there for a while. And remarkable human being. I was doing a thing with AEW with Jonathan Hood from ESPN 1000, and on his Under the Hood podcast, we interviewed Animal at Starcast. So he's a guy that I've met a couple of times, and he's been nothing but great. And it's amazing when somebody of that popularity and that legend remembers who you are. He remembered doing commentary. He's like, yeah, man, you guys did that tag match. And, that guy Brubaker, I love calling his match. And I'm like blown away, because I'm like, how do you remember that? You must see a million people every year that do this. How do you remember us at Crash Tested on a show that happened over 3 years ago? I couldn't believe it. But he was a lovely man, and you guys did one hell. If you're going to do a tribute to a guy, you guys hit the ball completely out of the park. No question about it. It moved everybody in Michigan City. It almost got me to tears on commentary, and everybody in the locker room got the chills, because, when you hit the device, it's one of those moments that you go back and watch over and over again on Amazon Prime. I think I've watched it probably a dozen times back, because it's just, for a moment, for an instant, you forget it's Youth Gone Wild, and you're seeing vintage Road Warriors. And that's what I love about it. So you guys did yeoman's work that night.
I tip my hats to you guys.
I remember, it all, like Creed said, it all started with the interview. You I didn't know. I honestly had no idea what I was going to say going into that. And I just remember, like, me and Creed are on our way to the building, and I look at Creed like, you remember when Hawk was talking about rolling Billy Gunn up like a booger and flicking him? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I got an idea, but I don't know how to say it. And I was like, you know what? And I was outside the building. We're walking in. I kicked a stone. I was just like, got it. But it all started with the interview. When I initially, Creed's doing Animal's part. He's getting amped, he's getting jacked, he's getting loud, and then he's just like, tell him, Tom. And I'm like, wow. And you hear that, and I just remember we don't get along all that long, like the greatest with PL, but PL's on the far right behind Gorilla. And PL's known Hawk and Animal, Michael and Joe, since the early PCW days. And I remember coming back after the match, and PL's sitting there, and he's like, I couldn't tell the difference between you and Mike, or how you and Creed were Mike and Joe. He's like, you nailed it.
I've heard PL say that as well, because when the show was over, I went to him specifically and I said, hey, what did you think of that? That was something pretty special. And he said, Steve, as God is my witness, I thought I was watching him. And I don't think you could get a better compliment than that. I really don't.
I can't think of anything.
So now here you go. Now here we are, 6 months later, or more than 6 months, 8 months actually, and we're getting ready to do it again. We're getting ready to tear up Michigan City again. And, the whole period of time from then to now, you guys have been a lightning rod of controversy in CCW, because it's like people, we're going to sign on and we're going to fight Youth Gone Wild. No, we're not. And then another person comes in and we're going to sign on and fight Youth Gone Wild. And no, we're not. And now here we are, less than 5 days away from the big night. And as far as I know, the Outrunners are still fighting you. And that promo they did, you know, I haven't known of the Outrunners for a long time, but that was a pretty impressive promo, and they were pretty specific about calling you out. You know, I know you guys had good heat going, and you had a good rivalry going with the Gotch brothers, and that just didn't materialize the way we all hoped. It's water under the bridge at this point, and I was wondering how this new matchup was going to work out. Here we go. Be nice. And I was wondering how this was going to work out with the Outrunners, because when you get tag teams together, you guys, in comparison to them, are absolute polar opposites, in my opinion. And now when you cut a promo on them with all the classic cars, which in typical Youth Gone Wild fashion was magic. It had that Youth Gone Wild. You see, you guys, when you cut promos, you have a certain mystique and a certain level you like to reach, and you nailed it when you're talking about, well, we need this car to go back to the future to get these guys out of Miami Vice. It was fantastic. It hit the point home 100%. And then they said, oh, no, we're going to say this about you. Well, now, between those two promos, I am totally jacked to see this match. What are your thoughts on your new opponents, the opponents you will face this Saturday night, the Outrunners?
3 things. How the fuck did they get on an army base? 2, finally, somebody who knows how to bring a promo and doesn't sit in their car or in their bedroom or next to a green screen with a $10 editing program. Go on site, do something, be creative. You know what? Salute to you guys for actually doing what I've been telling people to do. I always tell Creed, if we're gonna do promos, it's gotta be on location somewhere. I hate this in your car, or you're editing a still background, or it's horrible. And thirdly, Gotch, bye. It's a headache I don't gotta worry about anymore. So you know what? These guys, they stepped up to an occasion where we were, told, well, we're not going to work you guys. We're not going to come in and wrestle you guys because we're afraid you're going to beat us up. And, it's not going to be a show. It's going to be a fight. Well, you're fucking right. It was going to be a fight. And it was going to be a fight because that's what I was told by fans and a bunch of other people. This is what it's got to be. They'll have no-showed. And here's the thing. All right, let's go beyond the curtain a little bit.
Oh, boy.
They weren't going to be here either. They weren't going to be at this show. We were told back when the Outrunners accepted the match, well, boys, Joey and Jacob aren't going to be able to make it. They've got a wedding to go to. They knew of it, but they accepted the booking a month ago knowing they were going to have to cancel. Piss off.
We're going to be editing quite a bit of this out in post-production, but needless to say.
Why? I've had permission to say this.
Okay. All right.
Creed can attest.
He does have permission. Hey, all I have to say is, you know what? Goodbye, Gotch brothers. And thank you, Outrunners, for stepping up so that we finally have some competition. That's what we've been looking for, is competition here in CCW, especially in the tag team ranks. With this tournament coming up, we need more competition. We need more tag teams. We got a few, but we need more.
We need tag teams that want to produce. We need tag teams that are hungry, want to be here, going to put in the work. Guess what? We've been doing it since day one. Outrunners come in and they save CCW booking and take on this match. You know what? And they produced a hell of a promo. You know what? I'm ready.
And I mean, why not say it? I mean, let's be honest, Steve. Even we sat here with both of these gentlemen and them. So we took out of our time.
We did.
They took out of their time. So we can hype up the match, right?
We did. That's correct. Affirmative.
And they essentially lied.
But then they backed out.
Yep.
Right?
That is so it would seem.
So to turn around and I don't know anybody unless there has been a time change or something like that, that you schedule or you accept a booking. So there's a difference. If I accept a booking and the show starts at 7, right? And the wedding's at noon. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's one thing. Then yeah, I'll probably try to do both. Okay, because that's me. But there's no way that I know and I live 100 miles away or whatever the case is, and no, I can't do both. And you know that when you make the agreement, yeah, oh yeah, we'll do the show. No,
You
because
make a good point.
now you've wasted your time, my time, their time. We wasted on giving them airtime. I mean, it's just a waste of time. And that's time we can never get back. And if I was a fan, I'd be pissed because here I am. You didn't get, it's like getting your mouth advertised. Here's this big steak, and here's all the trimmings, and you're gonna get this. Here, you're gonna get this. And then so you don't eat steak for months. That's the steak you want. That's what you want to put your fork and knife to. And then you find out essentially maybe a month and a half beforehand, and you won't get that steak. You can have Salisbury steak instead. What the fuck? Huh?
I mean, I don't want to veer too far away from the initial question. So I mean, I'm gonna end this topic on this one. It's more or less, you know what? Have fun working your little rinky-dink podunk towns and you not want to get your names out there. You know, y'all wasted enough of our time, the company's time, company money, and most of all, fan time and money. It was an angle that was invested in for a year, just to be, told, oh well, you know what, we don't feel coming out would be smart, so we're just not going to come out. We got a wedding to go to, and whatever. Fuck off.
Indeed. At the risk of irritating Youth Gone Wild, I'm going to bring this up because I want to hear you respond to it.
Why you don't want to irritate them?
Well, I don't want to irritate him because the last time I irritated him, I ended up wearing a bucket of chicken and all the condiments. So I'm not trying to.
That was only in person.
Yeah, but you guys, the way you guys operate, I'll go outside.
Did you ever get the mashed potatoes and gravy out your clothes? I'm just
eventually a couple of times in the cleaners, and I think I still found some mashed. I had to get rid of my shoes because the mashed potatoes fused into the leather, so I had checkerboard. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I enjoyed that.
Shut up. I've been watching the Outrunners. I've been watching some of their matches. I've been trying to get, obviously I want to see what they can do. So when we do commentary, we can comment on the way they work. And in my research, I've seen them do some pretty interesting things in the ring. And knowing you guys as well as I do, and having watched you for years and respected your craft for a long time, the way they work, I feel, might present some matchup problems for what you guys like to do. How do you prepare for a team that almost is your polar opposite when some of the matchups might not be favorable?
We've been studying their footage too, and to be honest with you, we're well versed in different styles, different aspects of what to do, where to do them. I myself am trained in lucha libre. We know strong style. We know how to cheat. We know how to do a lot of things in that ring. So we're not really too worried about their particular style. Yes, they are a great tag team. I mean, from what we've seen, they have some great tandem offenses, and they hold their own. So Right now, I hear they're undefeated, but come this Saturday night, it's going to be their first loss.
Tommy,
Yeah.
what do you say? Tom's got nothing to add.
I mean, I usually do a lot of the talking as it is, so I'm kind of like happy he's wanting to talk today.
Actually, that was a great answer by Matt Creed.
But I don't know how you can have the audacity to ask that question.
See, I thought that was a very professional way to ask the question.
Because here's the thing: have you not seen these two?
Oh,
they can wrestle and they can fight.
No doubt.
At the end of the day, that's all it takes. That's it. I don't care if you're trained in Roman Greco and NCW. Have you not seen Youth Gone Wild? And I don't know. I guess because you got your glasses broke a couple of weeks ago over your face. I don't know.
When your back's against the wall, you're ready to scrap. That's what it is.
I've been in the ring with Matt and Tom as a competitor. Oh, hell no. No. I almost passed out that night,
I haven't seen you tag out to Mercer any quicker in my life than you did that day.
Shit, you think I wasn't?
Hey, see,
there was another team in there too. You were like, nope, I don't care about the other team. I'm not in there with Tommy. I'm not in there with Matt. It ain't happening. Nope. Mercer, you're in.
Here's the crazy part. It was 3 teams, and again, think about it. I got in the ring with the bigger team, the gigantic team, right?
No, and if you remember, it was originally supposed to be 4 teams.
Right,
It was supposed to be Youth Gone Wild,
right?
Aggravated Assault in Punisher 747 and Bruce Owen Wesker, ARC with you and Mercer, and then we were supposed to have the Hellbillies in Backwoods Brown and Jay Cross.
Right.
But Jay Cross had just gotten, I think he had surgery at the time.
Right. But think about it. I got in there with Punisher.
Yep.
Now, Punisher is, let's be honest, taller and bigger than both of you guys.
Yes.
I got in there with him versus you.
Yes.
I'm not worried about him. No, because you got to chase me to catch me. But see, I know Tommy. I know Matt. They can chase me. They can catch me. And they can hurt me.
And we will.
Well, I know you've done that before. Thank you, Tommy. But again, so their style, they adapt almost better than any other tag team that I know. Any other tag team. So again, if it's a fight that these guys are looking for on Saturday, they've got it. This ain't none of that bullshit that was on TV on pay-per-view the other night. No, they will fight you. Slug it out. If they're looking to wrestle, these two are two of the best. As you can see from the hardware behind them, clearly they can wrestle. So to ask that question to me, just me, is a little insulting because I know what Youth Gone Wild are capable of.
I prefaced my question with, I mean no disrespect, so clearly I don't.
You only said that so you wouldn't get mashed potatoes and fried chicken stuck up your nose.
It was a dual point, that's for sure. You certainly don't want.
You were worried about offending us, and you pissed off your interview partner.
Well, I if I had a nickel for every time I pissed him off for something that is not necessarily true, I'd be rich and I'd be doing this somewhere else. But that's neither here nor there.
Conrad Thompson's looking for more work.
Maybe.
I hear he just doesn't have enough of a schedule to fulfill.
So you guys, I everything C-Red said is absolutely accurate. I mean, there's nothing you guys can't do. I've seen you guys do some pretty remarkable things, and Saturday night we will see you add to your list of remarkable matches. And the Outrunners are coming undefeated. So at this point, we have the unstoppable force, the immovable object. Saturday night, June 12th, something has to give, and the fans in Michigan City are going to get to see it live firsthand, and it's very, very exciting. This this is Grapple Masters episode 2, so to speak. We had our first one in October. This is our second one, second sellout in a row. It's going to be a very hot night, a very hot crowd. Everybody has high expectations for this show. What are you guys looking forward to with this show? This is the go home show, so we want to talk a little bit about what's happening. Obviously, your match versus the Outrunners is going to be one of the matches of the night. Anything Youth Gone Wild does end up being a match of the night candidate. But what are some of the things you guys are looking to kind of peek through the corner when you're done through the curtain and see?
Well, this match, okay, it's not just a match against the Outrunners, okay? It is now number 1 contendership for the IWRG Mexican Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
Okay, so you put that behind it. Now, the Outrunners are going to bring their A game. We're going to bring our A game. But here's the thing. No matter who wins, YGW, all right, they're going to go up against Marche Rocket and Bryce Benjamin for those tag team championships in August.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And so that is one thing that we are totally looking forward to. And when we beat them and we're walking back towards the curtain, we'll turn around with a big smile on our face that night. And then when we go into the show in August, we'll be walking out as the IWRG Tag Team Champions.
You know those guys way too well, and you know us way too well. What are your opinions on it? On that matchup alone? If the stars line up just right on Saturday, we go into August and we're across the ring from those, I'm going to say their tag name, the N-words. What are your opinions?
I don't think they're called the N-words over there.
That's what I'm calling them, because I've faced both of them tagging up together as the N-words.
They've been the N-words. Yes, they have.
Go ahead.
Answer your question. Yes, I know all 4 of you gentlemen very well. Would I be surprised or shocked if what Matt said came to fruition? Not at all. I see every move ever created. I put it like this: we would literally there would probably only be like 5 matches on that show. It's got to be only 5 matches. And the first 4 would be before intermission. After intermission, and I know most people are like, but yeah, that's an hour and a half. Shit, because that's how long it's going to take them. Because I refuse to be on the show and you guys are doing the main event. We're there for like 2 or 3 extra hours. Like, it's 1 a.m. and y'all are still wrestling, trying to, no, hell no. I'm good. I've got to get up the next day. I've got laundry. I've got something, shit. I got something to do. But I don't, it's a fight. I think it would start out as a wrestling match and wound up being a fight. And the ending would be whoever can land the final knockout blow. And I'm not going to sit here and say it would be Marche and Bryce, and I'm not going to say it's going to be Youth Gone Wild. I'm going to say it's whoever makes a mistake, the other team capitalizes on it. And guess what? That's your tag champ.
It's fun to speculate. If Youth Gone Wild hands the Outrunners their first loss to overcome that hurdle to get into that match in August, I'll very clearly go out on a limb and tell you who's going to win that match. The winners are the fans, because what you have are 2 tag teams that are second to none. And if you ask each of them, whether it be Youth Gone Wild or Bryce and Marche, they're going to say they're the best. Well, at some point in that match, somebody's going to have to prove it. And I'm going to sit on commentary, and I'm going to have Joey Roth and Roxy have the paddles, because I think I'm going to need to be restarted a couple of times with the excitement that match could generate. You think about who's involved in it. Tom Heisman, Matt Creed. They have set a standard of tag team wrestling, particularly when you look back in October. The bar is super high. And then you bring in the tag team champs, Marche Rocket, Bryce Benjamin, two of the most impressive workers doing things today. Marche's doing big things on NWA. We know this. Bryce Benjamin is everywhere. The Bryce is right, as he is saying these days. So when you get to that match, if we're lucky enough to get to that match, you have a main event that has not been seen before and might not ever be seen again. The bar is high. Bringing in a tag team of this caliber to defend titles that have never been defended in this country, that's worth the price of admission enough. But to throw Youth Gone Wild at them, you know, you just, the quality of the entertainment and the quality of the match, it's something that would be one of those perfect storms. And for me, I'll consider myself the lucky one to be on commentary, to have my voice with that match in history. Because when it hits Amazon Prime, Powered 4 TV, Fight TV, all the platforms that we're on, my voice is going to be heard by the millions that are going to watch this damn match. And it's going to probably be the greatest work of my life. So I'm all for it. I wish you guys nothing but luck. I may even have a little bias for the Youth Gone Wilds to make it past the Outrunners, because as a betting man, I want to see that match in August more than just about anybody. So it's very exciting for me. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's how I feel about it. I feel very strongly about it.
Yeah, no, it's a topic that's extremely close felt, because I know personally I've got to win over Marche. I've got to win over Bryce. I know Creed's got to win over Marche. I know he's got to win over Bryce. But I also know if you flip the script, they both got wins on us individually as well, but never in a tag situation. And we've known each other for the better half now, going on the opposite side of the decade. So it's good. It's going to be an interesting one.
Dare to dream.
Like I said, the stars got to align right to get us there. And, you know,
well, you punks better win that match then, is all I can say. I'm calling you out right now. If you rob us of this opportunity by choking on Saturday night, you're going to piss off a lot of people, myself included.
I'll give you something to choke on.
Saw that coming. It's like I set it up.
So,
bam.
But no, like the 2020 was a shit show, and John Bullard in Chicagoland are making it up in huge quantities in 1 year. You've got what was the very first show back in October in 2020, canceled show in April. We come back here in June. It's a big show. Then we go into August, what could be history making. It's going to be history making, because those tag belts for Mexico are being defended in the United States, regardless if it's Youth Gone Wild or the Outrunners. Ever. First time ever. So, and then later on in the year, if I understand things right, then we got a tag tournament and it's a huge 2021 picks up the dog shit of a year 2020 was and just says, bye. Out the door, we're here to play. So, but pertaining to Saturday, we've got the Outrunners to go through. And just like Creed said, they haven't lost. Well, guess what? These say we don't lose either.
It's a good point. That's a good point. Saturday night is going to be electric. And, you know, obviously your match, the Outrunners, we know the magnitude of what's going on behind that match. Undefeated versus arguably the most popular tag team in the company, with title opportunities and implications at hand, plus seeding in a tournament, most certainly in the balance there as well. But we've got a lot of other matches on that card. A match that's got a lot of fire is a tag team match that, C-Red and I know very personally, the Tribunal versus No Coast. A lot of bad blood there. You guys have seen the promos. What are your thoughts on a match like that, since, we want to talk a little bit about the card, this being the go-home show?
All right, well, you said we've seen the promos. Well, we've only seen the promos that No Coast had done. And I watched the episode when you had them on your show. They like poking that bear, and they like to poke that bear pretty stiff. We've never had a gripe with them. We never had an arrangement where we knew we were going to be working, in a ring working them. And apparently we're the old kids now because they grew up watching us. And, kudos, I guess, to us. But, I haven't seen Tribunal do promos. I haven't seen them on Facebook. I haven't seen them posted. I've seen No Coast stuff. So in that situation, they're putting in the work. I hope they win.
Like Tom said, first of all, let me say this. No Coast, I like what they're doing with their promos. They're going on site. They're going out and doing them. They're doing promos right. But they are poking the bear. And you know what? I'm hoping that they show up for that tournament. And I'm hoping that we can meet in the tournament so that we can beat them and we can show them why we are the best.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Steve, just like No Coast, Steve has continued to poke the Tribunal bear this entire time. This even coming down to blaming Tribunal for breaking and entering his residence. And then
3 kings in a row, C-Red. 3 kings in a row.
Yeah, but you kind of got an eye-opening experience, didn't you?
I did.
Last week.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So trust me, Tribunal is nothing to play with. They have poked the bear constantly. And I just believe those boys will be taken to the whooping shed.
C-Red may be right.
And I hope one of you guys are available. I don't know the card, but if your match just happens before theirs, I hope one of you guys can go do commentary, because the fight might just spill over that way.
I thought you were going to ask if they needed pallbearers.
Well, Steve might need one.
You were going with it. I was like, where are we going here?
Steve might need one.
I don't think that he's going to come over to commentary. Come on, I can't possibly occupy that much space in that man's head. But
Steve,
we'd
have
love to do commentary on that match. To be honest,
from October to now, you have pissed off a lot of people, me included.
Yeah.
And everything is coming to a head on Saturday. So don't be shocked if a chair comes flying your way. Don't be mad if a staff comes swinging your. Don't be shocked.
Not a staff, dog stick.
Don't be shocked, because guess what? You have poked every bear in that locker room. You have stirred every pot. And trust me, your day is coming.
All right. Well, moving right along to a pot that I haven't stirred. Jay Cross versus the Ewok for Ewok's much ballyhooed title. Can you guys ever remember the potential for a more physical match than the brawler Jay Cross versus the Ewok, who said the only way he's going to lose his title is if somebody takes it off his cold, dead corpse? What are your thoughts on a match like that? It sounds like it's violent.
Yeah, we've been in the ring with Jay Cross numerous times. He is very physical. He will give you a beating, beat you down. He'd leave you bloody in the middle of that ring if he had the chance. Ewok, we've never really been in the ring with him, but I saw what he could do in October, and it's going to be a fight. It's going to be it's not even going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be a brawl. You know, that's the easiest way to put it.
I mean, we've known Jay for years. We're just now learning and getting to know Ewok. So, you know, selfishly, I'm gonna cheer for my guy in Jay, especially knowing he's coming off of a fully recovered shoulder. You know, he had surgery. He had a rough last couple of years with injury and getting back on his feet. And then, you know, he had the birth of his kid in the last, what is it, a year and a half, 2 years?
Yep.
So he's due, and I know he's feeling it. He's hungry. And if Creed knows Jay like I know Jay, Jay's not coming in to just throw a couple punches. He's coming to throw as many punches as possible. So, you know, selfishly, I'm pulling for Jay, but anything could happen.
Two very violent men.
Well, I'm pulling for Jay also. But Jay is coming in with a handicap. And that's that C-Red wannabe.
What? Come on. Do you hate Damian Tyler that much?
Dude, really? He is the dollar store imitation.
I am going to use that on commentary on Saturday. I'm telling you, I'm ripping
I don't
C-Red
care.
out right now.
I don't care. He's an imitator. And if anything, he's the only reason why, if Jay loses, he's going to be the reason why.
Wow. That's cold.
The Toothless Wonder will again. I mean, here's a guy that swore up and down he was going to start this great empire, right? And where are they now? They don't exist. You're an imitator. You want to be the Soul Touchers. You're not. You want to be the ARC. You're not. So do us a favor in this business, please. Ewok, I pray to God you're watching this. Knock his ass out and make his ass leave. There's only one red in this business. 19 years. So Tyler, take your little ass on and move.
Moving right along. We were speaking a few moments ago of Tribunal. Well, one of the members of Tribunal is fighting Marche, and that's Chris Moore. So you got Chris Moore versus Marche Rocket. Chris Moore has said some things. He's not very afraid of all day Mr. M80, but I think anytime you underestimate Marche Rocket could be a bad day for you. You guys have all worked Marche Rocket. You know him well. C-Red knows Marche Rocket better than any other human being orbiting this planet, maybe next to his wife. What are your thoughts on Marche versus the Tribunal's Chris Moore?
I'm just going to say it and be done with it. Marche.
Same, yeah. I feel Marche is going to win. I mean, he's on a roll right now. You know, with the NWA and you know, I want to see him come out of this healthy and ready to go for August for whoever, you know, their opponents are. And I feel like if he gets the win, he's going to be that much more pumped for August to bring his A game.
I mean,
what about your boy?
I mean, what do you want me to say? You want me to bet against all day? Really?
Just asking.
But here's the problem. We have yet to see Chris Moore.
This is also true.
And that can turn into an issue.
Well, we did see that promo.
And I mean, we already know that all of the Tribunal will be there.
Yes.
That can turn into a bad thing. Again, we don't know where any of these matches stack up on the card. We don't know. But what happens if that match is before Tribunal and No-Coast? that means Tribunal is full strength.
A lot of variables.
So I mean, again, I always bet on Marche, but
timing, they say, can be everything in certain situations.
It can, and this might be one of those issues. So I'm, again, Marche, but
we'll
have to wait and see.
We saw that promo.
We saw it. I mean, we saw it. He was ready to go into Marche right then and there.
Chris Moore's a big man. Chris Moore's a powerful man. As much as I've had my problems with Tribunal and Paragon, you can't argue they're menacing, they're skilled, and they always bring it. They brought it in October, they'll bring it again. So anything certainly could happen. And speaking of anything that could happen, I'm asking this to Youth Gone Wild. A lot of people were interested in the ARC, C-Red, Miles Mercer, and Jackson P. Larkin versus Yoya, Janai Kai, and Raven Fett. What are your thoughts on this match? Are you excited to see Red lace him up and get in that ring with that woman?
C-Red's going to want to punch me in the mouth for this. But I'm seeing a lot more product out of Yoya and his boys than I have ARC in the last, I don't know, 3 years. They're staying constant on posting their product. I don't know, man. I've seen probably 10 different videos in the last week of Yoya doing that like cartwheel looking power bomb thing. And I'm just saying, like, the kid's athletic is all hell. And that's just him by himself. He is a firecracker. And I've had one conversation with the kid where, we're not friends by any stretch of the imagination. We're associates in this business where, the kid impresses me. Mercer, I helped train him. We're gonna keep it at that. I helped train him, and I think Yoya and his team are just gonna blow right through you guys.
Do you want me? You know what? I don't know. Completely honestly, you've got ARC, which they know each other. I mean, C-Red, you and Mercer know each other pretty well. And then you've got, Yoya's entire team. But, I don't know, like you got to trust Larkin now, and
that brings up a whole other point.
Right.
Which I forgot to mention.
Right.
Which I forgot to mention.
Those are the wild horses. Those are the wild cards here. That's where you're really gonna, that's where it's going to come down to. I don't know if I can really, it's not really a skill. I mean, you've got 19 years here, but Yoya is this just wild and fast moving, superstar. Like, that's literally the way I can call it. That's all I can call him, is a superstar in that ring. I mean, he is like a little ninja.
You want to talk history? No. I remember the inception of the ARC. I remember when you had Aaron Xavier, you had John Hudson, you had Rion Skills, Willie the Bomb, Mercer, and Renee. Mercer has only been an opportunist at best. Only an opportunist at best. When he took the belt from Hudson, purely out of being an ultimate opportunist. Y'all couldn't trust Aaron Xavier, so you extradited him. You got rid of him. It's gangland rules in your group. And if someone falls out of line, you turn on them. And now you're bringing in a wild wolf into your pact, and you can't trust them because you don't know what side of the fence they're on? Just again, another reason why I'm pulling for Yoya and his team.
Next week on the Power Hour will be our last show, because I can't. C-Red is going to respond to this for 6 weeks.
Fight me. Fight me on it. Prove me wrong.
Listen, I'm going to say this.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Let's be honest. I couldn't.
Wait. Okay. All right. I'm almost sorry that I asked the question now, but I want to say this just before C-Red goes off for the next hour. As much as I have publicly made it known that I want to see Janai Kai kick C-Red in the head, I think something that you're not getting, and I say this with all due respect, is you've got the master strategist, and C-Red had to remind me of that a couple of weeks ago. The man might be older, 19 years is a long time to be lacing up some boots, but the man has never come to a party without a foolproof plan. And as much as I think Janai and Yoya and Brave and Fett are as good as it gets in this business, it's really, really hard to bet against Bill Belichick when he's got all the cards. So
unless C-Red plans on walking in that ring with a fully loaded 45, that's about all I see. C-Red's gonna be the one. C-Red's gonna be the one walking in with the plan. That's just what I see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
like I said,
I will now yield the floor to C-Red for a response. C-Red, you have 3 minutes.
I don't need 3 minutes. I mean, Tommy can feel how he feels. I mean,
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
You know, it's funny. He's talking about because we aren't posting. So because we aren't posting, we aren't doing anything.
Well, it means you got nothing to be proud about.
You
all post when something goes your way because you love to brag and you ain't.
So Steve, did I not post what took place just a few months ago?
You did.
But because Tom didn't see it, that's just, and the funny part is that's just like him saying he hasn't saw the tribunal promos. So I think Tom sees on social media what he wants to see.
What happened in October?
The stuff happened.
What happened in October?
But again, why are we see? And you're wondering what happened in October, and again, that's October, and yet we're days away from the next show. So again, I'm not gonna worry about. Yeah, but did Yoya not catch a Chicago Southside beatdown afterwards?
Well, who got the W?
Again,
who's got the momentum?
Who's got the money?
Who's got the momentum?
Who's got the money?
Money don't buy you happiness, man.
Shit, I don't know what life you living.
But again, C-Red, can you trust Larkin? It comes down to can you trust
Chris,
Larkin?
You asked that earlier, and Larkin proved, did he not, Steve? Again, just a few weeks ago. Again, understand there was a plan that was put in place a long time ago, and again, everything has started to fall into place. And that helped Miles. Am I not correct? See,
you are.
Did that not pull the wool over an entire company?
I was left holding the bag, indeed.
So again, it's fine. And this is the part that I love. But unfortunately, you let the cat out the bag, Steve. That again, I'm being the one underestimated. I'm being the one. But yet, you don't get to survive 19 years doing this unless you use this. So if you really think,
I'll give you that.
So
I'll give you that.
If you really think that we're walking into Saturday and I have not used the whiteboard, I have not watched game footage, that I do not have a super solid concrete plan going into Saturday, then shame on you. Again, I've got Tom Brady. I've got Rob Gronkowski. Now, here's the funny part. You said used to have. Who said Aaron Xavier isn't part of the ARC?
We're unless you're representing ARC all the way down to Southland.
Oh, who said he's not? Who says he's not? Who says Willie the Bomb is not part of the ARC? Matter of fact, the night that me and Miles wrestled you, did not Willie take a photo and it said the members of the ARC?
No, it said Miles Mercer and
No,
Sierra.
it said,
I was the one who made the poster.
No, I'm talking about the photo that we took that night. And who says Rion Skills is, see, you keep bringing up not knowing if these people are part of the ARC. You're bringing in and not knowing if there are other members.
If you're telling me I have to have more faith and trust in Cale Myers than C-Red, then we've got another decision.
Moving right along.
Hey, I'm enjoying this, Steve. I'm enjoying this.
I am gonna re-rack this because the look on C-Red's face when you guys said what you said is gonna be etched in my mind the rest of my life. That is something that I never saw coming in my wildest dreams. Speaking of dreams, the Sin City Playboys will be taking on Gunner Brave and Country Air. If we can step away from the legacy of the ARC.
Gunner Brave and Country Air. All right, let's move on.
Gunner Brave, Country Air. What do you think about them going up against Tully, Solomon Stone, and Rockstar Johnny?
You're okay. You're good. Country Air. Let them go. Gunner Brave. Yep, them.
They just told you.
So you don't think Sin City's got a chance?
No.
Put it this way. I hope Tully brings his balls because the other boys are bringing their bets. I ain't let that one down.
Here? The hell is going on?
Nope. Sorry. I have been told on multiple occasions, dude, please drop it. I've been apologized to. Nope. Bring your balls, boy. I hope they bring bats.
Well, I have no idea what that reference.
Oh my God. Yes, I did do it.
What that reference is.
Yep.
But I do think that Gunner Brave brought in some pretty decent firepower. Now, again, you've got to add, you've got to add that fourth member of the Sin City Playboys.
Don't care.
So
Big Bo.
Don't care.
I know but you've got to wonder, is he gonna play a part in this? But I saw Gunner after October. He wasn't happy.
No.
So
I just saw footage of Gunner Brave jumping off a trailer, taking out people. So,
Gunner Brave is fearless. There's no doubt about that.
And that's what I'm saying.
I saw Country Air recently kick the crap out of the Bruise Brothers. Now the Bruise Brothers prevailed, but Country Air is some skilled individuals, no doubt about that.
You want to talk about a team that's got a lot of fan power behind them? Country Air. Me and Creed know this very well. So that's another reason why I want to see those guys kick, Tully and those boys in the mouth, because Country Air knows how to put in the work, get the recognition, get the popularity, and get the people behind them. I'm sorry, what's Tully done? He's stood in the background on some TV shows. Who gives a shit? Come on, you can't play off of your extras career in wrestling, because
moving right along, we get to the main event. It is the battle of the Shogun versus the Frogun for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. D-Ray 3000 against Shogun Chris Logan. That's as hot a main event as you'll see. D-Ray's got titles everywhere. Shogun has the title that matters. What say you about the main?
I couldn't tell you. And I'm excited for both of them. Never met D-Ray. I've seen Chris twice. Once in October, and then again 2 weeks ago when he showed up at Squared Circle Megastars. He showed up just out of the blue just to say hi. And you know what? Both guys, impressive. I honestly couldn't give you an opinion on that one. I don't know who's going to walk in and walk out winner, but it's going to be a scrap. And you know what? I'm excited to watch it.
I've been on multiple shows with both guys. My last show with Frogun, he actually wrestled the Tokyo Monster Kangas, former NWA world champion. This guy is nobody, that you want to mess with. He's coming, and he's coming for that title. But if there's anybody that can stop him, it's Chris Logan. And I have to go with Chris on this one. It's gonna be a brutal fight, but I think Chris is gonna come out on top.
C-Red?
Really? I mean, you're gonna put me on the spot like that.
Right on the spot.
I mean, again, I've got history with both gentlemen. As me and Frogun talked about when we did the show with him.
You guys were like best buddies. That's true. You guys had quite chemistry.
And we had chemistry in the ring. But then there's Logan, who I have a lot of respect for. Coming out of Windy City and making a name for himself afterwards. So to go through a three-way dance in October and survive and walk away the first ever champion of CCW, that's a lot. And now, you have to put that title on the line against someone who is nationally known and, someone whose caliber is that of the Frogun. The cool part says, yeah, Frogun, but my heart says Chris Logan. So
there you have it. This Saturday night, June the 12th, Michigan City, Indiana, CCW, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, once again, sold out, Grapple Masters. It's going to be a hot night. Obviously, Youth Gone Wild fighting the Outrunners, lots of great action. It is sold out, but you will get to see this show in its entirety on Fight TV, Powered 4 TV, and Amazon Prime, of course, amongst others. It's going to be very, very cool. We usually end the Power Hour with rapid fire, but we're not going to do that tonight because I saw something on social media about Youth Gone Wild that I'm having a hard time with because of my respect for this person. So I'm just going to bring this picture up and say, what the hell is going on here? What the fuck is Celine Gray, the legendary Celine Gray, doing with a YGW shirt? What the hell? You may have thought that we weren't going to see that on internet, but we all saw it.
She likes to party.
What the hell? What does it mean?
It means, hey, we're open. If there's a trio like the ARC that wants to go up against us, come on, let's go. If we ever need a manager, she ever needs a manager, we've got her back. She's got our back. We've finally got somebody to watch out for, so that's all it is. I mean, it's a partnership.
It's almost like a marriage.
Celine Gray did some special things and was gone for a while, now back and better than ever, and sporting the YGW shirt. It's like the world has been tilted on its axis. I don't understand what's going on, but it's pretty impressive nonetheless. Gentlemen, any final thoughts about Grapple Masters, about the Outrunners, about anything that we've discussed tonight? Youth Gone Wild, take us home.
Well, the one thing you didn't bring into a question was we're not going into this show as a tribute this time. You're getting us 100% full scale. No emotions behind it that are going to tear us up on the inside. This isn't an LOD tribute. It's not a Davey and Owen tribute. You know, we've thought about it, but we ain't doing it. You're getting us 100%.
Look at all that gold behind you.
Outrunners, we're coming. We're going to beat you. And then we're going to take some more gold home with us later this year.
C-Red, what's there left to say after that? We're getting Youth Gone Wild unrated.
I see C-Red
unapologetic
Booker T promo on us right now. Yo, when we done with you, Youth Gone Wild, we coming for you. Gotta keep it PG though. We don't got a Stevie Ray here to be like,
oh my Lord. C-Red, final thoughts. Please don't take an hour. Because I know I'm looking at C-Red right now, and I have done so many shows with this man. I have done so many things with this man, and I'm looking at his eyeballs right now, and this man could spit venom if he wanted to. I just spit all over my screen because I'm so excited. But I C-Red, take it easy on everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling presents Grapple Masters Episode 2. Michigan City, Indiana, this coming Saturday, June 12th.
And it's sold out.
I stated it last week that I have a busy day ahead of me. The ARC has a busy day ahead of them. And all I will say is, come June 13th, call Gatlin's, call Leaks, call your nearest funeral home, and pick up the bodies.
Strong words from C-Red, strong words from Youth Gone Wild. On behalf of all these gentlemen, we invite you to check out Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. Grapple Masters is going to be off the chain. It's going to be a great show this Saturday night. Don't miss it when it streams. Thank you for watching. This has been the Power Hour. We will see you next week. Youth Gone Wild, as always, the most entertaining men in the room. C-Red, it's a pleasure working with the icon. And if I could just ask one favor as we go off the air, can somebody get me Celine Gray's autograph? Good night, everybody.